The happiest place on earth has become the emptiest. Labor Day weekend at Disney World should have been chaos. Instead, it looked like a ghost town. Space Mountain, pirates, haunted mansion, all walk-on rides. But empty parks are just a symptom of a much darker disease. What Disney executives were caught saying on camera will make your blood boil. What they're hiding in their contracts could cost lives. Meanwhile, Disney's ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel off the air to avoid inflaming tensions, then brings him back with Gavin Newsom as his first guest. That's not comedy, it's campaigning. When the vice president's family can't even visit without being attacked by radicals, you know something is broken. The evidence is everywhere. The collapse is accelerating, so wait till you see this. Now, let me ask you something. If you built up $100,000 or more in investments, do you really want it all riding on the stock market? Think about it. Banks, billionaires, even entire countries are loading up on physical gold and silver. Why? Because when markets swing, real assets hold their value. That's why I want to tell you about Noble Gold Investments to make it simple to own investment-grade gold and silver, the same kind the big players are buying. And you can actually hold it in your hand or put it safely in your retirement account. You've worked hard to build your wealth. Isn't it time you protected it? Noble Gold is family-owned, trusted by thousands, and ranked #1 in gold IRAs 4 years in a row. Their precious metal specialists are standing by to answer your questions and walk you through every step. Simple, safe, and easy. Visit nextnewsgold.com. That's nextnewsgold.com. It's time to protect what you've built. It's linked below, or you can call that number on the screen, 877-646-5347. And when Colin answers the phone, tell him Gary said hello. All right. So you may have heard Jimmy Kimmel was kicked off the air indefinitely. Well, now ABC's bringing Jimmy Kimmel live back nationwide, but not on Sinclair's 38 ABC affiliates. The left is already celebrating this as a huge win, but they don't want to tell you this. 38 ABC affiliates said nay. Sinclair says it will preempt Kimmel with news until ABC meets its demands, so most viewers will see Kimmel, but the millions in the Sinclair markets will not. Here's the official notice from Sinclair. Beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across our ABC affiliate stations, replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return. So, what is going on? Here's more from that Sinclair Media.
Chairman of the FCC.
This is from CNN.
And good evening, I'm Erin Burnett. Out front tonight, the breaking news. Jimmy Kimmel returning to ABC in just about 24 hours, once again set to host his late night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's only been about 1 week. Can you believe it was only a week ago? What a week it has been since ABC suddenly pulled his program because of comments Kimmel made after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. ABC parent company Disney, in a statement tonight, writing, and I quote, "Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production of the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We've spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday." Now, the statement's important, not just because of the incredible speed with which all of this played out, but also because nowhere in there did ABC even try to put a fig leaf on this, with any attempt to say that this was a business decision. They didn't try to do that. They didn't try to blame the ratings, because everyone could plainly see what it was and that it was not about the ratings. But the FCC chair, Brendan Carr, ready to weigh in, is still trying to say that the sky is green, saying this even today.
Jimmy Kimmel is in the situation that he's in because of his ratings, not because of anything that's happened at the federal government level.
What about we can do this the easy or the hard way? Well, obviously, Carr took his cue and his talking point from his boss.
I think Jimmy Kimmel's terrible. You know what suspended him? His talent. You know what else is really what? Take a look at this guy, his ratings. That's what got Jimmy Kimmel out. He was terrible.
Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else.
So now he's back. But what's going on over at Disney? They bring back Jimmy Kimmel. Big headlines today. The Mirror, Disney World empty as Americans fear tourism is finished in Florida. Why is the happiest place on earth collapsing into the emptiest place on Earth. Labor Day weekend should have been packed. Instead, Magic Kingdom was a graveyard. Space Mountain, walk right on. Haunted Mansion, walk right on. Pirates of the Caribbean, walk right on. Seven Dwarfs barely touched 30 minutes. Families walking through empty parks that once overflow with joy. The dream is dead. But the empty parks are a symptom. The real sickness is Disney's betrayal of American families. They've turned Walt's dream into a nightmare of woke propaganda, price gouging, and political indoctrination. Ticket prices sky high, beloved rides shut down forever. Parents can't afford it anymore. Families don't feel safe there anymore. Universal's new Epic Universe, I've been there, is eating their lunch while Disney bleeds out. It's not just the parks. Disney Plus is poisoning homes across America. Executives caught on camera bragging about their not-so-secret gay agenda, openly admitting they sneak sexualized themes into children's programming. Kids can't watch a cartoon anymore without being bombarded with rainbow indoctrination, gender confusion, and radical ideology disguised as entertainment. From Lightyear shoving same-sex kisses into Pixar films to Marvel rewriting heroes to fit political checklists to children's shows where drag queens and gender propaganda are slipped in under the radar, Disney has made it clear they want to reprogram your kids, and they're proud of it. Families have noticed. Parents are canceling Disney Plus in droves. Grandparents who once gifted Disney classics to their grandkids now warn against it. Instead of Mickey Mouse magic, Disney's become a Trojan horse for the radical left, a billion-dollar indoctrination machine aimed at the youngest, most vulnerable minds. Meanwhile, Disney's corporate empire runs cover for its propaganda by embedding itself deeper into politics. They pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air to avoid inflaming tensions, then brought him back with Gavin Newsom as a guest. That's not comedy, that's campaigning. Disney is using late-night TV as a political weapon. Even the parks themselves are war zones. When Vice President J.D. Vance brought his family to Disneyland, they were mobbed and heckled by leftist radicals. Think about it. A family trip to the supposed happiest place on earth turned into a protest march. Disney isn't protecting families anymore. They've made themselves a magnet for chaos, and the backlash is overwhelming. Parents on social media are warning each other to avoid Disney. Investors whisper about collapse. TikTokers documenting ghost town parks. Every step Disney takes, every cancellation of a beloved ride, every ideological stunt on Disney Plus, every political move with ABC and Kimmel drives them deeper into the abyss. This is not Walt's vision. Walt Disney built a kingdom on timeless values, family imagination, hope, joy, and the people running Disney today have spit on his legacy. They've replaced it with division, indoctrination, and open contempt for the very families that built the empire. Americans are done funding this, done handing over their kids, done pretending the company is harmless. Disney is no longer a dream factory. It's a machine of manipulation, propaganda, and moral rot. And now the people are waking up. They're walking away. The parks are empty. The brand is tainted. The magic is gone. The world's greatest family company committed by betraying families. Disney is finished. Mickey Mouse is officially dead. I mean, this is the video that was leaked. Remember this? Here's the flashback. The leaked Disney Zoom call, the executive bragging about the not at all secret gay agenda, sneaking queer themes into kids' shows like Proud Family. Families aren't stupid. They see it and they're walking away.
On my list, it's like, I love Disney's content. I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers. I'd heard things like, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of Proud Family, Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel I felt it was, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess something must have happened in the last they are turning it around, they're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of, I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background, I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm Proud Family. But I just was no one would stop me and no one was trying to stop me. It's I love Disney's content. I grew up watching,
Maybe that's why people are not showing up at the parks. Or maybe this is the reason.
Are you excited? I'm helping you guys out with your transformation for the day. Are you excited? Yeah? Is it guys your first time at the boutique? Are you guys ready? Yeah? Okay, this is my outfit. We're gonna go this way. Was this you guys' first time at Disneyland? No, you've been here before? Do you come to our kingdom often? No, just every once in a while. Oh, I'm sorry. Do your little statement and then take to your dressing room to get you all dressed up. Speaking of, is Rapunzel your favorite princess? Yeah, she's like my favorite princess too. I love her because she's so strong. She's a great leader too. They're gonna look so cute. Don't forget to make fun faces. We can't see you. Yeah, I'm gonna put 8 more pins in here. And I want them to be like nothing's there, so let me know if they tickle or feel funny. It's gonna help protect your neck from all my potions and serums, so they don't just kind of feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna try it and then let me know if it feels okay, princess. Does that feel okay? Awesome.
Disney Princess Makeover. Here's Vice President J.D. Vance at Bayou Country Disneyland in July. There he is with his family. J.D. Vance's entire trip to Disney was riddled with protests by leftists. Vice President J.D. Vance encountered heckling and widespread protests during his family visit to Disneyland in Anaheim, California over the weekend. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered outside the theme park. Los Angeles Times reported voicing their disapproval of Vance's presence amid ongoing immigration and customs enforcement raids across California. Jane Fleming Klebe, a vice chair of the Democrat National Committee, chair of the Nebraska Democrat Party, later confronted Vance inside the park while the Republican walked with his child. Vance's visit disrupted park operations as security measures increased, resulting in prolonged wait times and temporary ride closures for other guests, according to The Independent. The vice president's visit unfolded against the backdrop of public outrage over recent ICE raids, which have intensified scrutiny of the Trump administration's immigration policies in California and elsewhere. Vance has previously spoken against Disney, calling for an end to what he alleged were government handouts and denouncing their diversity and inclusion initiatives. In 2022, he called Disney woke and accused them of declaring war on America's children. That's what this is. That's what this is on your screen. That's the war on America's children right there. Here's that news about Fox from Fox. Jimmy Kimmel announces Gavin Newsom will be tomorrow night's return to air guest. Disney announces Jimmy Kimmel Live will return on Tuesday. You want to side with a grotesque pedo Disney? You pay the price. Oh, and Kimmel do not pay his piece. And Kimmel do not pay his piece of a dime to or apologize. Wow, these people are just full of hatred. Wow. Here's one person, a retired couple. My wife and I can no longer afford Disney World. It was affordable in the 80s and 90s. Ideologically speaking, they've betrayed Walt Disney's entire rationale for Disneyland. Another saying, the place is so dirty, I wouldn't take my family there. Another person saying, oh, I wonder why. Disney World's been a ghost town this summer, with visitors sharing different theories about what might be behind the quiet scenes. Over the last 10 years, they've actively pissed me off, this writer says, and they expect me to spend $100 a head to buy a ticket. Screw them. This writer says they should have done it years ago. Disney has arbitration in their Disney Plus terms of service that extends into their parks. So if you got hurt or a family member is killed or dies due to food or allergy, you can't sue them for damages. Did you know that when you sign the agreement for Disney Plus services, the agreement says you will not hold Disney liable, and that Disney extends to their parks, so if you get hurt, you can't hold Disney liable. Here's when J.D. Vance recounted that moment on the Charlie Kirk show when he hosted.
Not as my wife and I decided to take our kids to Disneyland one weekend. We had fun, and to be clear, most of the guests said very nice things, or they just left us alone. But there was a loud and very cool minority that would shout at my children, who were 8, 5, and 3, whenever they got the opportunity. "You should disown your dad, you little shit," one middle-aged woman yelled at my 5-year-old. "Tell the Secret Service to protect the Constitution, not your father," screamed another. Are these women violent? Probably not. Are they deranged? Certainly. And while our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left. After Charlie died, one of his friends and one of our senior White House staffers had left-leaning operatives in his neighborhood passing out leaflets telling people what he looked like and where he lived, encouraging neighbors to harass him or, God forbid, to do worse. While he was mourning his dead friend, he and his wife had to worry about the political terrorists drawing a big target on the home he shares with his young children. As my wife and I decided...
J.D. Vance recounting the moment. This person said, "I never signed up with them to begin with, ever since they say their own Disney Plus customers can't sue them if something bad happens to them at Disney World." Here's a TOS. Disney World is arguing a man cannot sue it over the death of his wife because of terms he signed up in a free trial of Disney Plus. How crazy is that? So, Kimmel comes back. Sinclair blocks him. Disney's collapsing. And it's all becoming clear why. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. You see, Walt Disney created a kingdom built on innocence, imagination, and family joy. Today's Disney, they're bragging about their not-so-secret gay agenda. They're sneaking adult content into kids' shows. Their executives caught on camera admitting they're deliberately programming your children. Parents discover Disney Plus contracts that literally ban lawsuits if your child dies at the park. And think about that evil. When J.D. Vance took his family to Disneyland, leftist mobs screamed at his children to disown your dad. In Disney's ABC, they yanked Jimmy Kimmel to avoid inflaming tensions, then brought him back with Gavin Newsom. That's using late night TV as a Democrat campaign rally. The parks are empty because families are done, the magic is dead, and the trust is broken. Walt would weep at what they've done to his dream. So it's time to boycott Disney completely, is it? Until they return to family values? Let us know in the comments. And you can support companies that actually respect families by checking shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Link below.